Hi there, welcome to Mr. Ray Math, and today we are going to be factoring trinomials. Okay, so what is a trinomial? Trinomial has three terms: ax plus bx plus c. For example, you could have x squared plus 3x plus 2, for example, okay? Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to know what a, b, and c are. That's the first thing you should always do. A is equal to 1. There's a 1 there. B is equal to 3. And c is equal to 2. So you want to recognize what these numbers are. You have the a, you have the b, you have the c. That's the first step. A equal to 1, b equal to 3, c equal to 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this x squared plus 3x plus 2, and we're going to factor it into two binomials, okay? If a is equal to 1, we're going to have an x here and an x here, okay? So my first step is to write down what a is, what b is, and what c is equal to. When a is equal to 1, you're going to have parentheses x, an x here and an x here, okay? Step 2, we're going to look at the c. What does c equal again? C is equal to 2. Okay, again, c is equal to 2. And if we have a plus sign right here, that means that this number b is equal to the sum of the factors of 2. The sum of the factors of c. 3 is equal to the sum of the factors of 2. So what are the factors? That would be my next step, is to write c and write the factors. The factors are what numbers multiply to give me 2. Well, 1 times 2, 2 times 1, it's the same thing. You could also say negative 1 times negative 2. So what adds up to 3? Well, 1 times 2. So I'm going to put those in. Plus 1, plus 2. And so what I have here then is x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to x plus 1 times x plus 2. Or x plus 2 times x plus 1, because you can write it in any order. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Okay, here's another example. Do you remember step 1? Step 1 is always the same. What does a equal? What does b equal? What does c equal? A is equal to 1. B is equal to 8. And c is equal to 15. Okay, now, I know when a is equal to 1, I'm going to get two binomials, okay, with an x here and an x here. 1x, okay, xx. Now, my next step is to look at the factors of c. C is equal to 15. I'm going to write the factors of c. 1 times 15, 3 times 5. You could also say negative 1 times negative 15, negative 3 times negative 5. Okay? Well, what I want to know is I want to know what sign this is. That's positive. That means it's the sum of the factors. That's 8. What factors add up to 8? The 3 and the 5. So that's going to be a 3 here and a 5 here. Okay? And I can write that in any order: x plus 5 times x plus 3, or x plus 3 times x plus 5. That's what x squared plus 8x plus 15 equals. Okay? All right. Well, let's take a look at another one. Okay, I have another one. Why don't you pause the video and try it? Pause the video and try it. All right, so what's my first step? Well, my first step is always the same. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 7, C is equal to 12. Okay? Now, I know that this is equal to x times x parentheses x times parentheses x, two binomials. That's what that's called. Those are called binomials because they're two terms. And this again is a trinomial because it's 3 terms. So that is equal to that, x equal to 1. Next step, c is equal to 12. I'm going to write the c equal to 12, and I'm going to write the factors of c. 1, 12. 2 times 6, 3 times 4. We've got a plus sign again, plus sign right there. So I'm going to use the 3 and the 4. So that's going to be a plus 3 there and a plus 4 there. And I get x plus 3 times x plus 4. Okay, but what if the sign is not positive, it's negative? That's a different story, right? Well, let's take a look at that situation. Okay, so here we don't have positives, we have negatives. What do we do here? We do the same thing. The first step is the same thing. A is equal to 1, B is equal to -1, and C is equal to -2. Okay, good. Now, because we have a negative, we want to look at the difference of the factors. So B is equal to the difference of the factors. That's right, the difference of the factors. So again, I'm going to look at this. A is equal to 1 is still going to give me 2 binomials with an x and an x. 2 binomials with x and x. Still, A is equal to 1. That's why I can write that, okay? And I'm still going to look at the factors of C. So everything is almost the same. So what do we have for the factors of 2? We have 1 times 2, or 2 times 1, same thing. Is the difference of 2 and 1 1? Yes. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Check. But what is the sign? Well, take a look at this sign right here. It's negative, okay? The sign right here is negative. That's going to go with the larger number, in this case, the 2, the larger number. What do I mean? I mean I'm going to have a -2, -2, and a +1. Okay? -2 plus 1. That's one way to think about it. That's kind of the quickest way actually to think about it. So that's going to equal x minus 2 times x plus 1. X squared minus x minus 2. Okay? With parentheses, so 2 binomials. 1 trinomial is equal to 2 binomials. Let's try that a few more times. Okay, for this one, we are going to do the same thing. Again, first step. First step is to recognize A is equal to 1. B is equal to -1. C is equal to -12. And you always want to do that, A, B, C. You're going to work with these trinomials more in coming problems and coming sections in math. You always want to know A, B, and C. Okay, so what do we do here? Well, A is equal to 1, right? So we're going to equal, this is going to equal parentheses, x, x. 1x, 1x, because A is equal to 1. And if A is not equal to 1, I'm going to do that in the next video. What do you do? But right now, all these problems involve A equal to 1. Next, C is equal to -12. I like to think about this as C is equal to 12. This is the easy way. And then I think about the factors of C. 1, 12. 2, 6. 3, 4. Okay. Now, which one has a difference of 1? The difference of 1 is 3 and 4. The difference, B is the difference, 1. Now, which one is negative? Which one is positive? Because we're going to have a positive and we're going to have a negative, or a negative positive. It doesn't really matter the order. Well, the one with the bigger number is going to have the negative. So -4, +3. That can also equal to x plus 3 times x minus 4. And that's what x squared minus x minus 12 is equal to. Okay? So again, you're looking for when you have a negative here, for b, when b is negative, that means you're looking for the factors that have a difference of that number 1, okay? There's another way to think about that, but this is kind of the fastest, easiest way to think about it, especially when you have to do these later in your head. Now, let's go to another problem. Okay, so we have another problem. And what we want to do is we want to recognize, again, same steps. 1, we recognize the coefficients, a, b, and c. b is equal to -5, and c is equal to -24. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to take a look at, again, the a, is it 1? Yes, so I'm going to have 1x and 1x. A is equal to 1. Now, what I didn't mention last problem is that if this is negative, the b, you're going to have a negative positive there. Look at the factors of c. c is equal to -24, but I'm going to think about this as 24. What are the factors of 24? Well, the factors of 24 is going to be 1, 24, 2, 12, right? And we're going to have a 3, 8. What else could we have? We could have a 4, 6. What gives me a difference of 5? Bingo, 3 and 8. And the bigger number is going to be with the negative, and the smaller number is going to be with the positive. Okay, so that's what x squared minus 5x minus 24 is. Okay, I'm going to write the next problem I'd like you to try on your own. Okay, see if you can do this next one. We have x squared minus x minus 20. Pause the video and see if you can do this one on your own, and then I'll help you. Okay, welcome back. A is equal to 1. B is equal to -1. C is equal to -20. All right, well, we know that if a is equal to 1, we're going to parentheses x. B is negative, so we have a negative, positive. We know that so far. We did all that work so far just from knowing the signs, and then a is equal to 1. Now, I'm going to look at c. C is equal to -20, but I'm going to think about this as if c is equal to 20, and I'm going to list the factors of 20. Now, I'm going to have 1 and 20. I'm going to have 2 and 10. I'm going to have 4 and 5, right? Okay, what has a difference of 1? B is 1. The absolute value of b, -1 is 1. You can just think of b as 1. 4 and 5. 4 and 5. I'm going to make the bigger number with the negative. 5 here. Smaller number with the positive. 4 here. So x squared minus x minus 20 is equal to x minus 5 times x plus 4. Okay, well, what if you have a positive here? So you have a positive and you have a negative. In other words, b is positive and this is negative because we've been doing two negatives. What happens in this situation? Okay, same thing. If this is negative, we're looking for the difference of the factors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, and c is equal to -12. My first step, okay? A is equal to 1, so I know this is going to be an x times an x, parentheses x times x. C is equal to -12, but I'm going to think about it as c is equal to +12 and write all the factors of +12. So I'm going to have 1, and I'm going to have 12, I'm going to have 2, I'm going to have 6, and I have 3 and 4. So the difference, when this is negative, this is the difference of the factors. Okay, when the last term is negative like that, okay? What I mean is that you're always going to have a negative and a positive, two different signs. And when you have two different signs, you're going to have the b term be the difference. Now, what gives me a difference of 1? It's going to be the 3 and the 4. But this is a little bit different because the bigger number is not negative. The bigger number goes with the sign right here. That's positive, so 4 is positive, 3 is negative. So this is x minus 3 times x plus 4. Okay, let's take a look at that again. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Now for this one, we have x squared plus 12x minus 64. And you know the steps. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 12, c is equal to negative 64. A is equal to 1, so it's equal to parentheses x times parentheses x. I'm going to think about c as if it were positive and write down the factors. 1, 64. We've got 2 times a 24. We've got 4 times a 16. We've got 8 times 8. What gives us a difference of 12? 4 and 16. Now, I'm going to put the bigger number with the sign that's here. What's the bigger number? 16. So it gets the positive, and the negative is going to go with the 4. And so that's going to be x plus 16 times x minus 4. Okay? And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a couple problems that you can try on your own, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here, okay? So, hey there. I've got x squared plus 9x plus 20, x squared plus x minus 30. So right away, we know this is going to be x times parentheses x. This is going to be x times parentheses x, right? So I want you to go ahead and pause the video, try these on your own, and then get right back with me. Go ahead and do that now. All right. So what we have is we have first step, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 9, and c is equal to 20, 1, 9, and 20. Now we want to look at the factors because this is both positive, positive, positive. So that's going to be the sum. The 9 is the sum of the factors. I'm going to look at the factors of 20. We have 1 and 20. We have 2 and 10. And we have 4 and 5. So what adds up to 9? The 4, positive 4, positive 5. They're both positive because that's going to be a positive there. Okay? Next, I have x squared plus x minus 30, okay? Now, what I want to do here again is I have a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, c is equal to negative 30, okay? Now, I'm going to look at c as if it's positive, and I'm going to write down the factors. What do we have? 30, 1 and 30. We have 2, 15. We have 3, we have 10. Do we have 4? No, but we do have 5 and 6. So what gives me a difference of 1? Remember, when this is negative, you have opposite signs, positive, negative. So the difference is going to be 5 and 6. It gives me a difference of 1. What number is positive? What number is negative? The bigger number goes with this sign. So that's going to be 6, positive 6, and a negative 5, okay? Now, there's one more that we're going to do, one more type. Okay, but what about this situation? What if I have a trinomial and I have a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 11, and c is equal to 30? What about this situation? When I have a negative b and a positive c, well, steps are the same. You write a, b, and c down, and then you know you're going to have x times parentheses, x times parentheses. But we didn't do this one when the b is negative, but the c is positive. Well, if the c is positive, the b is still going to be the sum. But what you're going to have here is you're going to have two negatives. Okay, if this is positive and this is negative, you have two negatives. Again, I'm going to look at the factors of c. What are the factors of c? 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10. Do I have any more? Yes, I have a 5 and a 6, and I'm looking for factors that add up to negative 11, 5, and 6. Okay, so that's when you have negative, positive. Okay, now there's a few that I have not gone over. You're probably wondering, what if A is for greater, what if A, okay, is greater than 1? Okay? Okay, so you might be wondering by now, well, Mr. Ray, what if A is not equal to 1? For example, 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. How do we factor that? Because A is equal to 3. When A is equal to 3, you're not going to have parentheses x times parentheses x. It's a little bit different. We're going to get into that. And also, this is another trinomial, even though there's two terms, because b is equal to 0. This one is a difference of squares, and we're going to go over that as well. So these are two different types of problems we didn't do in this video, but we'll do in the next video. And again, my name is Mr. Ray. Thank you. I'm going to look